with our Metz Part 2 58 AF2 flash review. And, okay, so on Part 1 I raved about this flash unit, that if I was shooting Canon or Nikon, I'd probably buy these. I can't say that this is a high value unit. This is I mean, because the price is comparable, right? These are, you know, over Christmas time you could get these for $400. Now they're like $500, $450, something like that. These are $399, $359 for, so they're a little cheaper. And you know, right there, if I'm saving $100, well, there's no question I would buy these over this, no question. This thing is cryptic. Okay, the interface, you need to take the manual with you to figure out how to do some of the stuff with this flash unit. This flash unit is intuitive. I love that. All right, so so if I was shooting Canon, I'd be getting 58 AF2s. There's no question about it. If I was shooting Nikon, well, the new Nikon SB910 is like $600. I'd be getting the Metz's too. The Nikon and the Metz for user interface are probably about equal. The Nikon interface is pretty good. So what are you giving up? Well, in Pentax, and this may be a Pentax specific thing, and I think it is, and that's a limitation of the Pentax TTL particularly wireless system. You only get you only get 4 channels with this. So if there's 4 guys shooting wirelessly with Pentax K5s and they don't want to interfere with each other, they can do it. You go to 5, I mean, that's a limitation with all these. But Canon and Nikon, I believe, I know Nikon does, and I believe Canon does too, they have 4 channels and 4 banks. So you could set up your deal where you had, you know, 2 flash units. So you know, the channel is for the photographer. So if there's 2 photographers, one would be channel 1, one would be channel 2. This way they're not interfering with each other. But so you pick channel 1 if you're one photographer. But if you want to have like one set of lights on one side and another set of lights on the other side, I don't know, maybe some have blue gels on them and some have orange gels on them. You can switch back and forth between channel banks 1 and 2 or 3 or 4. But at $400 a piece or $500 a piece, you know, that guy McNally, the photographer McNally, Joe McNally, he did a Nikon ad where he had like 10 Nikon speedlights. Well, that's awesome, you know, if you can afford $5,000 worth of speedlights. So, you know, the Pentax system doesn't do that. But in reality, you know, you've got wireless flash, okay? And all I've never needed the banks. I'll put it to you that way. If you use the banks a lot, don't go with Pentax. That's the bottom line. And if you use the banks a lot, you're probably not going with Pentax. And if you do, and the other thing is it's a solution to a problem you don't really have, because you can go wireless. You can go with wires. You don't have to do it wirelessly. If you're setting up 10 speedlights, you're probably not using speedlights anyway. I wouldn't as a pro. I'd be using, you know, some other kinds of flashes. Okay. The other thing you're giving up is nowadays, all these flash units like the Nikon and Canon are weather sealed. So they've got this rubber booty thing around the bottom. All right. The Metz is not weather sealed. So there's no rubber booty thing there. And this flash unit is just a standard flash. It's not weather sealed. I don't use my flash out in the rain too often. I'm usually shooting weddings and stuff, and it's not something that I'm not too concerned about that. I think it's more for a flash unit, you know, for a camera body, absolutely. For a flash unit, I don't know if that needs to be weather sealed. What else are you giving up? Nothing really. I think you're gaining a lot with the user interface. It takes 4 AA batteries. It's got the AF beam. I mean, everything works just like. I mean, if Pentax made this flash, I'd be thrilled. You know, it'd be like, wow. You know, there's no difference in the sense that, like, if this. I think this actually probably functions better than the Pentax flash units does. People tell me the build, you know, from the online reviews and stuff I've read, people say that the build quality is better than the Pentax flashes. So, okay, and they're all the same price. I mean, the Pentax flash is $380, the comparable Pentax flash is $389. This is $399 US dollars. So, but this flash, the 58 AF2, is so good. I don't care if it's Pentax or whatever. If I was shooting Nikon or Canon, I'd be buying these. And that's saying something, because the Canon speed, I mean, I remember the Pentax flashes I had back with the film cameras, the PTTL, you know, with the MZS and stuff like that. And, you know, not up to the standard of the Nikon SB24 even. But definitely not up to the standard SB800. or, you know, 580EX, the 580EX is pretty good, you know, but this Metz 58 AF2, that is up there. I mean, this is a great flash. So, like I said, this is going to be my main wedding flash now. I got two of them, and there it is. So, can't say enough good things about it. It's comparable to the SB800. It's comparable to the 580EX2. I actually prefer it over the 580EX2. And for price wise and everything, like I said, you know, if you're shooting Pentax and you need some professional flash gear, the 58 AF2 is the way to go. So, all right, there's the review of the Metz 58 AF2. I'll show you some of the features here. Push the button, right, and it swivels. There you go. Turns all the way around. Does everything you want it to do. You've got power in there. Batteries go in here. Metal hot shoe. Very straightforward. Outstanding flash unit. It also has an auto mode. So you can set your aperture and use it with your Pentax MX or whatever. So very impressed with that unit. Well worth the money. Highly recommended. Not high value because it's the same price as everything else, but it's a good value. And if you're shooting Pentax, I wouldn't even look at anything else because this is a Nikon Canon quality flash for Pentax. And, you know, like I said, not that there's anything wrong with Pentax. I think their cameras and lenses are world class. But their flash units, when I was shooting MZS back in the day, yeah, they never really were quite what Nikon and Canon were offering. They always seemed like they were a step behind. But with this Metz 58 AF2, you can shoot Pentax flash and not be missing anything. So it makes a full, complete system for Pentax, and I'm very impressed. All right, it's Ed with Photo Universe, so that's what I think. I hope you guys enjoy the 58 AF2 as much as I am, because it's really solved a problem for me with Pentax. And I appreciate it. All right, Ed with Photo Universe, have a good one. Bye.